yeah! Feeling good tonight! Billy Morris here. Oh yeah, baby! Welcome to the Smokin' Talk and Roll video podcast every Tuesday here at Audio Bay Studios. Hey now! Gonna be a little solo tonight. Todd Chason is busy cooking up those delicious smokin' rock and roll Christmas dinners that y'all put your orders in for. If you didn't put your orders in, it's too late. So, welcome to the show. Feeling good. It's Christmas time, Christmas season. We're going to be taking some phone calls. Please call the show if you want. I just spent the early evening at the mall getting Christmas pictures, Santa pictures with my boys, and then picking out our annual Christmas tree decorations. We get them like what the boys are into every year. So the mall traffic, the mall craziness, the kids driving us insane. I don't know how I got through it, but I did. I sped back here. We ate some mall food. I'm covered in onions right now. I had to wash my hands. Nothing like smoking rock and roll food. But we ate it. You know, you're at the mall. Smoking rock and roll is live. Yeah, it is. Hey, leave us some messages on Facebook, and I'll talk about it. Like I said, Todd Chason is not here tonight, but I'm going to man the microphone tonight. I got a special guest coming in a little later on. He'll be a surprise. But a little later on in the show, in about 15 minutes, we have Pete Evic, lead guitar player for Bret Michaels of Poison, longtime friend of mine. And we have a lot in common, so we're gonna talk for about 20 minutes or so about, the different, common things that him and I share, being with different lead singers and different original bands and touring all over, but we share the same path, let's put it that way. So, Billy Morris here, Smokin' Talk and Roll. Christmas time. You guys getting ready for some Christmas? Is everybody excited for Christmas? You got to put up with the family. You got to wrap presents. I always used to be a last-minute Christmas shopper. I would, day before Christmas Eve, start my shopping. I'm done right now. And it's easy when you do your Christmas shopping in bed on Amazon. You can get your Christmas shopping done. So, hold on. I'll introduce the guy. I'm producing the show, okay? Just hold tight. Give me 5 minutes here. We gotta do our thing here. But all my Christmas shopping's done. What about you guys out there in Facebook land? Whose Christmas shopping isn't done yet? Because if it isn't done, you got to hit the mall. It's a little late for Amazon. Maybe not. I don't know. But also, we got to deal with this weather front coming in, and that's something that always aggravates me. Is when the weather people, they came up with some sort of stupid. That's me. I know why, too. They come up with the stupid terms now. Now it just can't be, hey, we're going to have a snowstorm this week. It's got to be, temperatures to minus degrees, the wind chill factor. It's 32, but it feels like -8. And watch out, this weekend is a polar vortex and a winter, blah, 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 blah. Crazy. And that's going to affect our show. So I got a big show coming up this week. And which leads me to my first special guest tonight. His name's Brad Slitt. We're going to get up on the microphone. Brad, come on down, buddy. The applause is going now. When you put your headphones on, you'll see that. Brad Slitt of the band Priscilla and Billy Morris of the Billy Morris Kid Wicked fame will be sharing the stage this week at Slim and Chubby's. Thanks for coming down, Brad.
You're welcome, Billy. Where's Todd?
Todd's a little busy with some smoking rock and roll business.
Son of a bitch.
So
were you just talking about the snow that everyone's talking about?
Yeah, it's like, dude, even the guys in your band, it's like, oh, well, are we going to cancel the show because there's big giant snowstorms are here? If you're not from Ohio, the way that Brad and I are. Here's how it is. We're on the west side. The show's on the west side. But all the snow gets dumped on the far east side. Painesville, Chardon, Ashtabula, that whole area is like more in line with Lake Erie. So when they get forecast for like a foot of snow, they cover the whole Northeast Ohio area. Oh, you're going to get blanketed with a foot of snow. And as a kid, you look forward to it. You wake up in the morning, a dusting. But the thing that sucks, it's going to suck for us, is that people are going to get scared to make plans to come out to our show Friday night because they think we're going to get dumped down with snow, and it always happens that way. Don't leave the house if you don't have to. Polar vortex, Arctic plunge, wind chills, dangerous, frostbite, and it never is that way on the west side. So just to let you know, this Friday night, doors open around 6 o'clock. It's a night before Christmas Eve rock concert. Right. Nobody uses the term rock concert anymore.
But they should, right?
They should.
They should. I know, right, concert. Dude? It's all like it's a club show because everyone's, I don't want to say degraded it. People are doing what they're doing. But it's all copy band stuff. It's like not really a concert when everyone's playing copy tunes.
That's
they're
true.
Playing Journey, whatever, Foreigner, whatever. Not putting
Rick
it down.
Rick
Springfield. I get it. No
and
hatred towards that.
You're right. There's a place for that. There's people to do that. But what we're doing
the last
Friday
shows,
night,
all these shows we've done, they've been concerts, man.
Concerts.
These people are losing their minds, and it's cool as shit to see that.
We bring in a large sound system, big light show. We do it the right way. We've got 5 bands this week. Opening up the night at 7 p.m. will be Voltan, right?
Yeah, Voltan.
Voltan?
Yeah. Voltan, yeah. The Vulture dude from Flash Gordon.
Right on.
Yeah.
And then the second band is a good friend of mine, Dan. Their band's name's Adrenaline. And
Verified. Karen Pingle for main auto receptionist. Soon.
do I have to have this turned down? My phone turned down? Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a call.
Just sent it.
Yo, who's calling on the Smokin' Talk and Roll hotline? Oh, I know what to do. I have to do this every time. Hey, man, who's calling on the Smokin' Talk and Roll hotline? Yeah, Pete. Come on, Pete. Talk.
Hey, it went dead on me. I'm sorry.
That's you on you. So, hey, Pete, what's going on, buddy?
Oh, not much. Just wanted to give you a call. Hey, what's up, Brad?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Hey, good, man, good. Hey, I just wanted to ask you, what do you think of this, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I mean, they induct Lionel Richie, Eminem, but no Ted Nugent, no Peter Frampton.
Tell me that they have
no
Eminem
Billy
in
Morris.
there. Tell me they have Eminem in there before Ted Nugent. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, tell me they have.
Blew my mind.
Tell me they have Dolly Parton in there before Ted Nugent.
Yes.
And there's a long list of bands. There's a long list of bands that I feel need to be in. And the top of my list would be the band Boston. The first 2 records,
right?
Boston. And the technology that Tom Schultz brought to those records sound amazing.
One of my favorite albums of all time. Actually, 2. Both
Don't
Look Back.
What the Boston records do for me is I can put that on with headphones and close my eyes and go back to my youth.
Absolutely,
right?
dude.
And that's what good music does.
You heard that every day, all day when we were growing up,
Yeah.
our era, man.
I
And
hear
was,
that.
It was, It's just beautiful. It's great. And it doesn't get old. Sorry, Pete. Sorry to cut you off, man. But it just doesn't get old.
No, it's okay.
So my opinion on the Rock Hall.
And Peter Frampton?
Peter Frampton's not in the Rock Hall? Well, that just goes to show you how much I pay attention.
Come on.
Peter Frampton's not in the Rock Hall?
Yeah. No.
Well, you know what? You know what it is? It's a bunch of people that aren't musicians that don't really know the art, and it kind of is a parallel to a thing that I saw one time where Rolling Stone had a like top 100 guitar players of all time, and I think they put Kirk Hammett higher on the rankings than Eddie Van Halen.
Really?
Yeah. So it's like.
Oh, come on.
It's the people out there that they grab a pen, so they're going to write about rock and roll, and all of a sudden they're an expert. They get put on the panel for the Rock Hall, all of a sudden they're an expert. And maybe it's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame of opinions, because it was their opinion to put Eminem in before Peter Frampton, to put Dolly Parton in before Ted Nugent. You
I
know,
wonder if there's any payola that goes into that.
There's
you know what I
gotta
mean?
be.
Right. There's
gotta
got to
be.
be.
Gotta
I
be.
didn't
I'm
know that
sure.
about Eddie Van
I'm
Halen. I mean,
sure.
come on, dude. Like, there's Hendrix, there's Van Halen. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Jimmy Page. There's greats, but Eddie, come on, man.
Right. Eddie would be, for me, number one. Now, I know that Hendrix was before him with the distortion and the whammy bar and the dive bombs and all the tricks and stuff. And a lot of people have Eric Clapton, but like, it's an opinion-based thing. No one's better, no one's worse.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Music is
Music.
is an opinion-based thing, man.
So-
It's like, I can't knock, when you're a kid, you're growing up, people will say, there's all these factions of different, gangs of like thrash or hair metal or this or that. Music's music. You can't persuade people to like a certain thing.
And we have that problem. Because
Absolutely, we do.
we're more from the, I would have to say, the glam rock hair metal style. Some of the other rock bands locally don't care for us so much now, do they?
They do not, man. I told you when Bill Peters put us on as headliners of the JCU Christmas show 3 years ago for his annual Christmas charity ball, he was getting hate mail, hate email, people calling in saying, what the F you doing,
We
Bill?
bring it.
And like Bill didn't expect that.
Yeah.
We do bring it.
We
we
bring it.
rock, dude.
Speaking of bringing it, Pete, you coming Friday night?
Yes, sir. I'm
All
off
right.
work. I'll be there.
All right, Pete, we got to let you go. We got a special guest calling in a
All right, man.
second. But, Pete, thanks for supporting the show. Thanks for calling every week. And make sure you say hi to me
I
on
love the show,
Friday
guys.
night. I'm buying you a drink at Slim and Chubby's. All right?
You got it, man.
Rock
You
on,
got it.
Pete. Don't be
Take
afraid
care,
of
guys.
snow. It's
Talk to
Cleveland,
you.
man.
You know that. All right, Pete. See you, man.
Right. Bye.
All right, man. He calls every week. He's a cool dude. I'm glad that he's a friend of the show. So before our first guest calls in, let's talk about the show. So we got Adrenaline going on second. Then we have Shane Vane and the Village Vandals.
Right on.
I have to be careful. I want to say the Village Vampires, but no, the Village Vandals.
Village Vandals. They're going to be doing some Shock Cinema tunes.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how they got, because they were going to be on the show with us at the Mercury 2-3 months ago. Whenever we did that, we wanted to get Shock Cinema on that, but it just didn't work out. And we hit them up for this show.
And they said, we'll do it, but we won't be Shock Cinema. We have to be Shane because
Right.
that's their band now.
Right.
Yeah, I understand that. That's
and
cool.
It's Shane, Corey Roddick, and
I remember Shane and Corey Roddick coming up through the Red Eye ranks. Or Shane Vane was super glam rock with Bad Madam or Johnny Jail or something. Or Andy Kane, maybe.
I
He
can't
came
remember
up,
what
man.
band.
He was a
Yeah,
good-looking little kid, man, with long, straight blonde hair. And,
Someone was just saying that to me. He kind of looked like you, kind of.
like I said, good-looking. So they're going to go right in the middle. How'd they get that time slot?
You tell me.
Then up next, after Shane Vane and the Village Vandals, will be the mighty Priscilla, featuring Brad Slitt here. Now, we got something cool to add. If you're a Priscilla fan over the years, the band's been around a couple years. You've got one of the
Yeah.
original members coming back for this show, huh?
Two original
Two.
members. Jeff Mash and Tom Fritchen.
Tom Fritchen!
Original drummer and original guitarist. Yeah, man. It's been a while. It's been 30 years since I played with Jeff. Tom and I played together. I mean, he's been in different formations of the band. He played with me at the show 3 years ago. Didn't play these last shows, all the last 3 gigs that I did, but he's coming back for this show, and
Cool.
he's now going to be in the band.
And then after Priscilla, right away, the Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip band will be going up. We'll be playing a bunch of my old originals alongside some new originals and some Warrant songs. And we'll have a little all-star jam. We have another local legend coming out, a guy named Snake Rock. He'll be
Snake
coming out to
Rock.
jam with us, so any Snake Rock fans. Also, I would like, look at Shane Vane's calling.
There you go.
Shane.
Speak of the devil, and there he is.
And there's Sammy T, too. The
All
lines are
right.
blowing up. Shane, you there?
Yeah,
Shane,
so
what's
this is
up,
Billy
brother?
the Kid Morris.
Hey, man, you know
Hey,
what?
how's it going, guys?
Shane, we got to talk to you for like not even a minute because Pete Evic's calling, but we want to thank you for calling. That's Sammy T calling, and that's call waiting on Zoom, beeping like that. So I got to end that. And here comes Pete. All right.
Oh, my.
But you guys, I got to let you go because Pete Evic's on the other line. We're going to do that. Shane, if you're still listening, call back after the interview.
Yeah, call back, brother.
All right.
All right. I'll call when you wrap it up with Pete.
You got it.
All right.
All right, here we go.
Did you guys get that?
All right, here we go. Okay, are we on? Cool. Okay.
Billy?
Pete! Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
You got reverb on this, Billy?
Okay, so
What's up?
I think my phone has to be out of here. No, that's us. No, well, it's
Yeah,
my
put it
it's
like
my
over here.
phone. Henry. Yes. My phone is on the screen right now doing this, so it's connected to my phone. Why is your phone doing it? What's that? Pete, we're figuring out these technical difficulties. Oh, this is terrible. Pete! All right, now I can turn it up.
Hello,
Hello, Pete.
I'm here.
We got you, man.
How are you, Billy?
Doing good, man. Pete Evic.
Quite a while.
Some applause are going on right now. All right, Pete, I would like to introduce you to my very good friend, Brad Slitt.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, buddy? It's
he's
an
a-
honor to be here today. Man.
He's a local legend from Cleveland, grizzly old veteran rocker like myself and like yourself as well, right?
Veterans now, is that what we
Veterans, yeah.
are?
So,
I love it.
man, thanks for calling in, man. So Pete Evic, y'all know him as Bret Michaels' guitarist. Awesome to get that gig. And like I said, we have a lot of parallels. You got to play with Brett. I got to play with Jani Lane. And it's a cool
right,
thing
man.
for both of us, right?
Greatest lyricist of the genre.
I
Jani Lane.
want to agree with you right there. So, but I didn't want to do the normal interview with you, Pete, that people all ask, oh, what's it like being with Brad? And how's it like on the road? I want to get to know the local Pete Evic. I want to talk to everybody about your band coming through Cleveland, playing the Hi-Fi Club. I want to get to know
That's
what
right.
I know you have a business at home. I want to ask you a few questions about your lifestyle and what you're into and stuff. So, do you ever get any interviews like that at all?
I've done a lot of different things, fortunately, but I've never done anything with you, Billy Moore, so it's going to be unique just because it's you and me, buddy.
All right, Brad, feel free to bounce in anytime. I'll ask the first question. So,
Okay.
just like me, like you go out on the road with these rockers, and then you have a life at home, you have a family at home, you have a business at home. Let's let everybody know what your business, your homegrown business is, your candle company back home.
Right. Yeah, so I am one of the owners and the founder of Shining Soul Candle Company, actually. Over the years, I've grown it started as an online business, making, it sounds so weird, but I talk about it sometimes, that candle sounds weird, but, Skid Row guys have made soap, the Warrant guys have made soap. Everyone's done all kinds of different things, but I grew it from an online business we have 3 retail stores in 3 different states now. I have a store in Myrtle Beach, I have a store in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and a store in my hometown of Manassas, Virginia. And we have a manufacturing warehouse in Manassas where we distribute to about 200 different retailers across the country. It's just something I grew, and Billy, when you're honest and passionate about something, it finds a way. If you're not faking it, it finds a way. And I got really, really into it. It was the first thing. I think we all remember Rock of Love, right?
Yep.
And by season 3 of Rock of Love, everyone associated it with what we were doing. We were out on the road 9 months, 10 months at a time, playing on Thanksgiving Day, playing on Christmas. And by the time the season 3 of Rock of Love was over, I came home, and it was the first time in my entire life, and I hate to say it, but it's the truth, my first time in my entire life that I didn't want to play the guitar.
Right.
It was, have you ever gone through that?
Well, yeah. Sometimes playing like 2 weeks worth of cover gigs at home, hauling PA and and then, hey, we got to get in the studio and write some songs. Like, I'm not touching that guitar. And
Yeah, I'm
for
not
you,
touching-
probably for like almost a whole year on the road, yeah, put that thing away, right?
Yeah. And I'd never experienced that before, because before I was in Brett's band, I was a 7-night-a-week cover band guy. I've always been that guy. And I never felt the burnout that I felt during the Rock of Love stuff with the cameras in our face all the time. And life was just different. And I came home and I was burnt, and I didn't, for the first of my life, I just wanted quiet. And I lit a candle one night, and I just kept staring at it going, I've never had a hobby. I don't play any sports. I don't do anything but play guitar. There was never anything else. And for some reason, my brain just went, I wonder if I can make a candle. And like 3 days had gone by, and I hadn't showered or done anything coming off the road. I was just crashing my house, and I went into the hobby store. And I remember walking into the hobby store looking like death. You know what it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
If you, and I just remember all these mothers buying things for their kids for school projects, and they thought like I was like an alien Bigfoot walking through the store. You could just sense what is this guy doing in our little hobby store? And I asked a woman if they had candle supplies, and they pointed. It was like a sci-fi movie the way they pointed at me, like I was an alien walking through the store, and they pointed in my direction. I went and bought this kit, and I went home and I became obsessed with a lot of things. For instance, touring in bands like we tour, you're in the Midwest a lot, right? So I guess it's really interesting where you're from. Do you consider you the Midwest?
They do consider it the Midwest, but I don't know. This is
We've
the Midwest?
always been the Midwest.
We've always been the
That's what
Midwest,
they call
yeah.
us, yeah.
To me, you guys, I still feel like you guys should be the East Coast.
I feel the same way, because Midwest would be more like Nebraska. And
Yeah. But
I guess
my
we're the
point was-
outskirts of it.
Right. So my point was, I'd gotten to know so many people in the Midwest and become friends with so many people in the Midwest that were farmers, and I was always intrigued by, like Farm Aid and Mellencamp and all the stuff that you hear, all the hardship and terrible thing about how hard it is to be an American farmer. And then, so let me move forward. The wax that's used to make these candles is made from soybeans. It's grown in Indiana and Illinois and Missouri. And all of a sudden, I realized if I'm starting this business and I'm, if I sell 10 candles, somewhere along the line, I've helped one of these farmers, the American farmer.
Yeah. And you could probably source those through some of the people you meet out on the road like that?
Right. And so because of that, I got real invested in the whole thing. I was always into candles. I don't know why, but I just was. And then realizing that I could help the American farmers, and I also was using a wax that's eco-friendly, and there was a lot of good to it. And I wanted to teach my kids some entrepreneurism skills because it was clear early on that they were going to be like me and not go the normal route and go to college or do things like that. So I started this online business, and it grew to what it is today.
That's huge.
I'll
So
teach my kids how to make candles.
yeah, well, we gotta
don't have
put an
any
order
kids.
in though. We gotta put an order
I'll
in
send you
for.
guys,
for a-
I will send you your first stuff free. I'll send you guys a sample kit and get
Well,
you.
I want to do a custom candle. All right, the Smokin' Rock and Roll hickory or mesquite smelling candle.
Smell
You
like
could do that.
kielbasi.
No, not that.
Why not, right?
First of all, I've done Kiss licensing. I've licensed Def Leppard, Aerosmith. I do a Twisted Sister candle. I do a Warrant candle. I've done a Debbie Gibson candle. I've done a Striper candle. I've done custom licensed candles for all these different people. Billy, if you're serious about it,
Oh, we're gonna do it because this is the year we're gonna start out. Doing some barbecue sauces.
Yeah.
Last week we had Tim the Ripper Owens on, and he used to own
cool.
a wing restaurant, Ripper Owens
Yeah.
Tap House. And a couple of years ago, I said, "Hey, man, I want to put some of your barbecue sauce out." He goes, I got somebody working on that. Well, you know how that is. It never happened. Now he's like, "You make it happen, we'll make it happen." So let's talk about that down the road. We'll do a Smokin' Rock and Roll hickory or mesquite flavored candle.
I'm in.
Flavored
I'm ready.
or scented?
Scented. Yeah.
Or you can eat it.
Yeah.
I think I ate candles when I was a kid.
I remember being at a candle shop once, and they literally had like a 2x4 smelling candle. There's some.
I have
Really?
You do have that?
Well, I've been requested over. This is my 10th year doing this now, believe it or not. That shows you how old Rock of Love is, just to give you how the time has gone
Yeah.
by. But we've had some incredible requests. I've done black powder candles. I've done racing fuel candles. I've done plywood and 2x4. People request some interesting things.
I have a candle that somebody bought me. If you're familiar with two-stroke racing fuel and oil, there's a company called Klotz, Klotz, and they got me a candle, man. It smells like you just started a dirt
Really?
bike up. It's one of the
Wow.
best smells.
That's
That takes me
crazy.
back to my youth, too.
That's
you know?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done a pot scented candle, Pete?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
I could see
actually,
that.
we
kinda
do
cool.
it every April. We only come out with it on
April
April. We sell
Fools.
it on the one day,
Yeah.
420, and everyone goes crazy. And then we have it. And there's several different fragrance providers that make the candle or make that fragrance. and they're all slightly different. And we probably went through 20, 25 different versions of it before we got something that we thought was right.
Right on, right on. So something that you can, live through, fall back on when the music career slows down, if it ever does. Doesn't seem like it's going to anytime soon, though, huh?
We're doing a lot of things. I mean, I'm sure you've heard the announcement of the Party Girl tour this year.
I saw that, yeah.
We're Brett is a solo artist. We're headlining the Sheds. Started out with 12 of them, Live Nation, Night Ranger opening up for us, and then Jefferson Airplane. And then actually within our set, Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray is going to come out and play with us, and Steve Ajuri, former singer of Journey, is going to come out and play some songs with us.
Nice. Going to be doing Don't Stop Believing?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
We're doing Don't Stop Believing, Faithfully, Separate Ways, and Stone in Love.
Sweet, sweet. So,
I like
okay,
the
let's...
last tune.
You only like the last tune?
Only the last tune. I do like Journey. I do, man. I like Wheel in the Sky. I like Anytime.
Well,
tunes.
the Journey
Stone Love's
songs,
good.
the ones that we like, are cool, but the ones that you have to play if you're in a cover band, you have to play Don't Stop Believing. You just have to. It's like almost the
guess.
last song of the night.
I don't understand. Like, I do. I mean, I get it. I see the progression of how things have gone, and the fact, like you said, that everyone has to play it. And if you don't, the audiences are disappointed. But
You don't need it.
when I give my opinion, it's like out of there. It's out of left field. That's why I was never a copy band guy.
True.
It's
He's
not
always
my
stuck
thing.
to his guns. He's always
It's
been an
not my
original,
thing,
original
man.
artist.
I can't be a sheep.
As a cover artist, do you cover Sweet Caroline? You ever do it?
I've never done it.
I've never done it
covered that
either.
at karaoke places quite a few times.
I've never done it. And I played this last year at a island outside of Cleveland called Kelly's Island. You ever heard of it? It's like one of the, you have to take a ferry over to it. It's like a party island.
I know Put-in Bay.
Put-in Bay, same, right next to each other. This one's Kelly's Island, a little older adult. Put-in Bay's a little more party kids.
I used to, before I was in Brett's band, I used to play Mr. Eds.
Mr.
over there.
Eds, yep.
Yeah, all the time.
Play behind
Yeah.
the bar.
Yep, crazy.
Yep.
And then he had one on the island.
Yeah,
Or on the
Port
mainland.
Clinton. Port Clinton,
Yeah,
yep.
and so we would play that and then go to the next one the next day or whatever.
Yeah. So I'm playing Kelly's Island at a bar outside, and this lady comes up. She's like, "Oh, excuse me, can you play Sweet Caroline?" I'm like, "I'm sorry, I don't know that." She goes, "You don't?" I'm like, "No, I don't do that song." She goes, "Well, you suck." So me being with the microphone, I'm like, "I suck," and I think I came down on her. Felt bad afterwards, but no, I do not do Sweet Caroline. Okay, get that
It's
out
a
of the way.
great song.
It's
Love
a great
Neil Diamond.
song, but-
Dude, you know what? When we were in Key West a few months back, George Chapman, we went on a boat tour thing, whatever, that he was playing on. And on the spot, I said, "Dude, do you know Shambhala by Three Dog Night?"
Yeah,
One
he
of
did
my
it.
favorite songs. He did it, dude. And he's like, "I'm going to learn it right now." And he did it, and he sounded great. He's like, "I'm going to put that in my set. I'm going to learn it the
It's a
right
great
way and do
song.
it."
Three
It's a
Dog Night's
great
coming to
song.
the MGM.
Are
You
they?
guys played there. MGM in
Yeah.
You guys played there a lot of times.
You mentioned Key West, and you were talking about someone saying you suck. I have the funniest "you suck" cover band story that happened in Key West. Actually,
perfect.
there's not Sloppy Joe's, but there's a bar across the street from Sloppy Joe's on Duval Street called Dirty Harry's. Have you ever been
Heard
there?
of it.
I was just there a couple months ago.
Yeah, so that's the cover club that I used to play.
Place was jamming.
Sloppy Joe's was the A club. I always had to go to Dirty Harry's, which was the B. You know how it goes.
Oh yeah.
Because I was playing rock stuff and Sloppy Joe's, you had to play a little more pop and stuff. Anyway, in Dirty Harry's, there's a rock club, a cigar bar, and a strip club, all within the same
I'm in.
facility. And my drummer Chuck, who's the drummer that's been with me for 36 years, the guy that played your club when I played your club, he was in Brett's band with me for 10 years. He went in the strip club and he met this stripper, and it was the time in history when Kid Rock's song "Only God Knows Why" was a giant hit. And this stripper would come out every night after she met Chuck, because you play 7 nights in a row
Oh,
down
yeah.
there. And I would do anything that would, keep working. You got to keep working.
Keep
If you could
working.
find a gig that would give you 7 nights in a row, you took it. And she would come out every night and put $100 in our tip jar and ask for it, only God knows why. And to be completely honest with you, I was very unprofessional about it. The song was so long; it had 4 verses that never changes. You know how this goes, Billy. And sometimes your brain can't just. If you're not overly passionate about a song, it's hard to get it to stick anyway, right?
Yeah, you can't get get it in order, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I was never really good at the song, is my point. And she would go, "You suck," and then she'd leave, right? 7 nights in a row, $100 in the fucking tip jar. "You suck," and then she'd leave. And then her and Chuck would hang out during the day and whatever. Anyway, so the very last night, and I kept telling Chuck, I said, one night her boyfriend's going to show up, and this is going to go bad. Whatever. You know how it goes. Right?
Oh yeah.
And literally, the very last night, she comes up and she puts $200 in the tip jar. And she goes, "Play God Knows Why." And right before we started, before I even got ready to start, "You suck." All of a sudden, you can ask Chuck, you can ask anyone who's there. All of a sudden, you just see this big bouncer-looking guy come out of nowhere and drag her out placed by her hair. She put that $200 in,
Didn't
and the
even get
boyfriend
any
was
of it.
mad. "Is this what you've been doing every night after your shift?" And pulled her out of that fucking club. We got the money every night, but 7 nights in a row. "You suck." It was
I
unbelievable.
love it. I love it. So when you get off the road with Brett, you do go back to playing out on your own a little bit too, right?
Nonstop.
Nonstop.
I think you know. We have a mutual good friend, Chad Stewart from Pastor Pussy.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Me and Chad just spent every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday the last 3 weeks out on the road, just me and him doing an acoustic set. And then I play locally. I do acoustic shows. I've really enjoyed doing acoustic stuff the last year. And then my band Evic, the same exact band that played at your club
Yeah.
Hi-Fi all those years ago, we still play.
You ever make another road trip out to Cleveland? You got to join us for a rock concert.
A rock concert.
I would be glad to. If you're inviting me, man, I would give anything to.
You're invited.
You're
walk back
invited.
into it.
You know what? It is cool because there's something about playing Blossoms, playing the sheds, and doing all that, but then getting back on the smaller stages and clubs with the people right in your faces and doing it the way that we used to do it as well. There's something about that as well.
You know, Billy. I'll tell you. It's a dream to get the gig I got. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a fucking dream, and I remember for the first couple of years, Dawkins would open up for us all the time, and Don would almost kind of haze me, and then one day he just gave me a big hug and he said, "Well, it's a couple of years later and you're still here. You're doing good, kid. You got a good gig," and I'm forever grateful that I had the opportunity because I don't know if you and me have ever discussed. I played Poison songs in my high school talent show. Right.
Yeah.
So, and I was, even though I was a cover band of my own, I wasn't really one of those guys looking for other gigs. I always said that I would join Poison if the opportunity came, or I would join Van Halen if either Sammy or Ed quit. But that's never going to happen. I couldn't get either of those versions.
Right on, yeah.
But to play with Brett was the unfortunate thing. Because a lot of people joke about it. That movie Rockstar is really my life. Even though it's kind of a corny movie, I ended up maybe not in Poison, but for 20 years I've stood next to one of my childhood heroes. And let's be honest, even though it was supposed to be David Lee Roth, Brett he's the king,
Absolutely.
frontman
Mm-hmm.
of our genre. In fact, one night Eddie Trunk was out seeing my band play, and he goes, "Oh, Pete, I didn't have any idea you're such a great front man." And I said to Eddie, I've spent, at that time it was 15 years. I said, I've spent 15 years next to the greatest front man on the planet. If I wasn't a good front man by now, I sorely did something fucking wrong.
It is so parallel about exactly what I talk about, because
yeah, I'm sure.
when
Tell me.
I saw Warrant, well, I knew Jani before Warrant. He was in Warrant, but before they were big. And I was introduced to him at a club in Kent called Filthy McNasty's. Might be a little bit before your time. It was a metal club, and he was there. And my friend Jeff Hare said, "You see that guy over there? He's going to be a rock star someday." So he introduced me. We became friends, and I watched Jani come up. And if you would have asked me back in the day, what band do you want to be in? I want to be in the band Warrant. I want to be in the band with Jani Lane. So, and then I stood next to Jani Lane, who is also right on the top level of frontmen for concerts and stuff.
Right.
And now, he told me, and because Brett lives by this as well. You know, everybody's coming to a party. Brett and Jani, they're the hosts of the party. They need to make the people
right.
feel good. So when I'm fronting a band, I'm Jani Lane Jr., man. I'm running this show.
That's what it all is, man.
It's running the party and making
Running
sure
the
people are having a
party.
good time.
You gotta get up there and get people to lose their minds. And if everyone's losing their minds, everyone's having fun.
Yeah.
They're there to like let
and
go
you got-
for a night, for a couple of hours, and have fun, man.
Yeah.
And like get away from reality.
Right.
And you got a front row education that no one else could ever get.
And you and I did. That's why I said you and I are so parallel on that. I stood
Yeah,
right
yeah.
next to that guy for years.
So my point to my story was, I've gotten to do these amazing things with Brett. Because of who he is, and he's constantly reinventing himself. You know, I've played at the Playboy Mansion. I played for 125,000 people under the arch of the St. Louis Arch. I've been to Iraq. I've played in Saddam Hussein's palace. I've done all these amazing things, but I still love it so much that I get just excited to go down to my corner bar with my acoustic guitar and sing all night. And I'll play 4 hours. I won't take any breaks. I just love it, and I'll go. If it's in you, it's fucking in you, man.
It's in you. I mean, it's in us. I mean, I got it in my genes. My father's a lifelong musician playing. He's 80 and still playing out to this day. So,
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I've never known that.
yeah, he's
Eddie and the Edsels.
Eddie
He's
and the Edsels. They're a 50s, 60s oldies band from Cleveland. And I'll tell you a story. His very first guitar was a 52 or 53 Les Paul Gold Top the first year it came out. And one year,
Yeah.
when he's teaching me, I'm picking these Eddie Van Halen licks and stuff. I'm like, Dad, what guitar players did you copy the way I'm copying? He's like, there ain't no guitar players back then. I was copying saxophone licks, you know?
Right on.
You know, my dad played lead guitar on stage with B.B. King as a teenager. B.B. King brought him up on stage. You got to play. There was a local show in town. It was the regional version of American Bandstand called the Upbeat Show. And my dad was the house guitar player on the Upbeat Show, and all these famous bands would come through, and he'd back them up. And I was a little 4-year-old kid running around the studio. It was you know,
Yeah, right.
I've come
You
up
hung
with
out
it.
at the Upbeat show?
Yeah,
I
my
didn't
dad
know
was the
that.
house guitar player.
When the
Yeah.
Raspberries and everyone was there?
Yeah, Don Webster. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then I always proud to say,
Been
other
holding out.
other than smoking rock and roll, I've never really had a day job. I've always just supported myself
Right.
since 14 years old. I've been playing out, making money.
I remember
working.
Nick
you
and
know-
I saw your dad, saw Eddie and the Edsels at a carnival or something they were playing. Nick goes, you know, that's Billy's dad. I go, no, get out of here, man. He goes, yeah, he's
the whole
Eddie,
family.
man.
It's all brothers. It's called the Morris
Yeah.
brothers. So,
Oh, that's crazy. You know, I wanted to touch on something about Jani
All
real
right.
quick. And I think that I opened up for you guys several times at a club called Jack's in Springville,
Jax,
Virginia.
Jaxx. I was on the way here. I was thinking about that. It was at Jax. Yeah.
Yeah, several times. In fact, if I remember correctly, at one point, I go so far back with the Warrant thing. Anyone ever asked, and I think I've told you before, I am probably as big a Warrant fan as I am Van Halen, Bon Jovi, and Poison. They're always in my top 5. And Brett actually, he'll make fun of me, not in a bad way, but
Right.
anytime we play with Warrant, he knows that I'm on the side of the stage watching Warrant.
Yeah.
And he'll make one in my band or crew go get a picture of me. And he always has pictures of me watching Warrant, fanboying on him. But anyway, my point is, whether Jani was in a club or I saw them in the arenas before you played with them, opening for Motley Crue on the Dr. Feelgood tour or whatever. And whether Jani was he had this amazing thing. He made it he could make a club feel like an arena and make an arena feel like a club. It was very unique.
Yeah.
You felt it. He was such a.
It's a good analogy. I like that.
Yeah. He was
Jamie Hagar can do that too.
Yeah.
Hagar's good at.
Yeah.
And
But,
Jani was the ultimate storyteller, and that came from his dad. His dad would tell him stories, and that's how he got to write some of those lyrics. You know all those Warrant lyrics. There's some good lyrics
know
in that
every one.
stuff. Yeah.
I know the lyrics off of every word to belly, buddy.
Yeah.
That's how deep I fucking go with it. I love it.
And they don't play on any of those songs anymore, like Belly to Belly, and any. They stick to the hits. I used to love
Sad
playing.
Teresa is my favorite Warrant song.
I would love to do
Which
Sad
one?
Teresa.
It's a great tune. Sad Teresa off of Doggy
Oh,
Dog.
what a great song!
It is a great tune. Yeah.
Doggy Dog, but it was something that it actually originated prior to the Dirty Rotten.
I think it was
Filthy
supposed to be on
Stinking
Cherry
Rich record.
Pie.
It didn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always loved playing the song "Angry Young Man."
Hey, well, I am. Oh, I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. You know, on the Belly to Belly record, that song, Letter to a Friend. I thought I'd let you know just before you go. What a great lyric.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever he's singing about and the melody. And then what was the other song on that record that I fucking, and I'll tell you a hilarious story about Belly to Belly if you don't mind. But what was the song? Vertigo.
It's a good tune,
With the
man.
real heavy-
Great tune.
But so at the time that Belly to Belly came out, I had been signed. My band, some odd reason, got signed to Soul 3 Records, which was founded by a guy named Richard Goddard. And if you know, Richard was partners with Seymour Steins, and they founded Sire Records in the 80s, and they produced Blondie and the Go-Go's. But Richard goes way back in history. He actually wrote My Boyfriend's Back and You're Gonna Be in Trouble.
Oh, nice.
And he wrote the song I Want Candy that became a huge hit, right? Richard's the coolest, most eccentric guy in the world, but he wasn't a metal guy. He was a pop guy, and he was part of that CBGB culture and the Talking Heads culture. But he liked my band, and he signed my band, and the first record was great. Second record, I couldn't write anything he liked. Every time I'd send him songs, he didn't like anything. And they used to always make fun of me for, liking Poison and Warrant and Van Halen and all that stuff. Not make fun of me,
Right.
but, whatever. And then one day I gave up. I fucking gave up. And I sent 4 or 5 songs off the Belly to Belly record and said they were my new songs. And I swear to God, he called me back and he goes, "This is the best shit you've ever fucking written. This is great." And I went, "That's Warrant, motherfucker. I swear on my life, I can get him on the phone and he can tell you that's a true story
That's
today."
huge. That's
Hey,
huge.
enough with the F-bombs, Pete. I'm just fucking kidding.
Do I need to?
I'm fucking kidding,
stop.
man.
No, he's fucking kidding you. So,
But I remember watching you play, Billy. I remember seeing you play prior to me being in Brett's band and seeing you play in Warrant and your band at Hi-Fi. And you're just such precision. You're such an amazing player. It just so.
Thank you so
I know
much.
I've told you this years ago, but you just made it always look so easy and cool. And I'm happy to be doing this with you and talking to you again, buddy. It's great.
I appreciate you saying that. It means a lot because, I sit back and watch you taking on the world, man. Like you said, you've played some really cool places and you're no end in sight. And, you're playing with the top front man from the 80s glam metal scene. He's the top front man.
Man, no end in sight. Hey, but you're going to Australia.
I am. Australia with Tough. And you know what? I tell you what, I really enjoy playing with Tough. Stevie Rochelle, he's another party hoster right there. He'll get out there and host that party like nobody else as well. So we're going out there. It's going to be a
Stevie's
good
great.
time.
I really like
Stevie
that dude.
is I consider Stevie a friend, a good friend. I speak to him a lot. I don't know if he tells you or has ever spoke to you, but we have a lot of conversations, and I look up to him and respect him. He keeps he's so fucking honest about everything, and there's no bullshit with him, and he's a pro. He's a fucking pro.
Absolutely,
On everything
yeah.
he does.
You're right.
And-
From behind the scenes, too. I mean, this Australian thing, he's got every base covered. He's texting us every day. Post this, do this, go get this taken care of. Did you get this done? I need your passport. You're right. He's a pro.
Yeah, he's killer, and I'm excited for him that you guys are going down there. It seems like, have you ever been to Australia? Have you
Never
done that
been to
yet?
Australia. None of us have, so it's going to be an eye-opener for us. We're looking forward to it.
I've only done it once. I was very fortunate when Poison and Motley Crue were touring together. The Poison guys don't like to go overseas, so normally when a tour goes overseas or out of the country, the solo band gets to go instead of Poison. And when Poison was 10 years ago, when that first time Poison toured with Motley Crue, we went with them to Australia, and it's stunning and beautiful country if you're into land and just seeing that kind of stuff. And the people are just the overwhelming welcome and love for rock and roll. It's a wonderful experience, man.
Yeah,
I'm so excited that you guys are going
We're
to
looking
do
forward to
that.
that. We're coming into town. I guess it's their 4th of July style weekend. That's our first show. And I've already got a friend of mine. I'm going to meet up with one of his friends after the show, and he's going to take us around and show us some local cuisine. And we're, Todd and I are foodies, so we're looking forward to eating some Australian cuisine and checking that out. Yeah.
Yeah, tell me, man. I know that I know it's your show, but I'm not the interviewer. But tell me about the food truck, man. I told you the other day. Any of my friends can attest. As an adult, I'm more jealous of you and the food truck stuff. I dream of having a food truck.
Well, let me tell you. All right, so Henry, how many more minutes we got? We have to. Can we sign off and sign back on? We're running out of Zoom time. We're going to get disconnected soon. But real quick, I'll tell you, same parallel when you decided you were into making the candles. One night I came home from a gig at my mom's house, and I'm smoking some food under the stars. I'm kind of like this smoking thing. Maybe I'll start a company called Smokin' Rock and Roll, where first I smoke for you, then I rock and roll for you. And there was the original thing was going to be, it was just going to be a party service.
One time I came home from a gig to my mom's house. I smoked some pot. And I thought I should smoke some pot and then smoke some more pot.
Not me.
I did.
But it started off with a trailer smoker. We were doing parties with trailer smoker, and I'm a wheeler and dealer. Craigslist, I found an old Cleveland Public Library truck, $40,000 there to get a food truck. Bought another one, made another food truck. Had to do dessert, have an ice cream trailer. Had to get a commissary and a studio. So we're fully invested, man. It's a full-time job, man. It's something.
That's amazing.
But we have passion for it. It's a good time. Yeah.
It looks great the way you put it on. What I see online just looks like it's the coolest time in the world, man.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have this. We're checking out in like 2 minutes. I want to get you back on because there's so much more I wanted to talk to you about. But we want to, I talked to Todd. We had to figure out your favorite style sandwich or meat or food. And we want to do a Pete Evic special this summer on the food truck.
I'm a Jamaican jerk type of guy or Mexican stuff.
All right. Well, we're going to talk about that. So
Is there 1 minute that I can tell you something very important?
Well, let's go until they kick us off. Yeah.
I want you to hear this 100% truth. Is anytime that me and Brett have whether we're joking or it's a heated moment where he's going to fire me or I'm going to quit, it's always, I will text him your number and I'll go, just fucking call Billy. Or if he's mad at me, he'll go, give me Billy's number. And that's our joke. I want you to know.
I love that. That means so much to me. That's huge, man. Well,
yeah, it's always just yesterday, me and him were talking about something. And I said, man, something happened. And I said, we were joking, no fight. But I was like, I'm going to quit this band. He goes, just get me Billy's number before you go.
I love it. We'll leave it with that, man. Pete, it was great having you on the show tonight. We're going to do it again real soon. We didn't even scratch the surface, man. We
yeah,
had
man.
So much more to talk about.
What an honor, though. Thank you, guys, man.
Thank you
Anytime
too,
I
Pete.
can come back.
You got it, man. Pete Evic, give it up for him. Yeah.
Peace out, Pete.
Pete, we'll talk to you real soon, man. I'll call you back.
You got it.
All right. Pete Evic, huge. All right, so how do we hang up now? There it goes. Dude, that was huge, man. You hear that?
I heard it.
You hear that?
I'm sure you were loving that.
I am.
I'd
Man,
be
that's
loving
so
it too.
cool, man. So,
Right?
like I said, we barely even scratched the surface. We're going to get Pete back on. I'm sure Todd will have a lot of things to ask him, but, he's one of us, man, and we're one of him. It's like we weren't like the Bret Michaels that get signed to the Jani Lane or the Vince Neil, but we're still carrying the torch, man.
Right.
We're rocking it. We're doing it.
We missed our chance. We should move to L.A.
Even if we would have moved to L.A., it was too late.
Yeah, if we would got in on the scene, though, man.
We would have had
there.
we would have had to move to L.A. in '84, right out of high school.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we didn't think about moving to L.A. till like '88 or '89, and it was over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe we could take phone calls now, right? Right? Can we take some calls, Henry? All right. If you want to give us a call, 216-435-5249. Dial extension 73 when prompted. But now that we're back to you and I, we're talking about this big show at Slim and Chubby's this Friday night, the night before Christmas Eve.
When I walked in, you were talking about the snow thing, so I started talking about it right before Pete called in. I'm getting like people in droves saying, I heard it's going to snow. I heard it's going to be like Arctic weather, blah, blah,
Polar
blah.
vortex.
Dude, You're living in Cleveland. It's fucking December. Yeah, it's gonna snow, dude. Right?
All right,
It's
here
like,
we
come
go.
on, man. You know what, dude? It like this whole thing. I was just telling Tom today. I'm like, it was like the beginning of COVID when everyone was afraid of the boogeyman. You know,
Yeah.
like for that first couple of weeks, the government told you stay home, don't leave your house, and everyone kind of did. Because everyone's sheep, you know, everyone kind of like followed along. And I'm not, you know, to each his own. I'm not saying that. Do what's right for you, what works for you. I'm not putting words in people's mouths. I go right down the middle. I think people should do whatever makes them feel good about themselves and their lives. However, that being said, look what happened with COVID. Like those first few weeks, everyone sat home. They were like bundled up and watching TV and eating pizza and not leaving the house, not opening the doors, looking out the window like, is the boogeyman out there, you know? A few weeks into it, people going stir crazy, man, and they wanted to go out. It's the same thing with the first bad storm or first storm of the year. And unfortunately, that storm's supposed to hit Friday, but, you know, it'll be cold. There'll be some snow. It is what it is,
Hey, we got
man,
a caller, though. We got a caller
All right.
online. Ask who it is.
Who is it, Billy?
What? Well, hold on a second. What's that?
Hello, is this Billy?
Yeah.
Is this Billy?
Yes.
Tell Priscilla they owe me 7 more songs. I kick them out of
Is
my
that
club. They owe me 7 more
It's
songs.
Fior.
You're from the
Fior.
Agora.
Holy shit. Fior is calling in. How is this possible? We'll give you 7 more songs, Fior. Dude, we had a riot at the Akron Agora one time. We just come home from a tour, and like just because of the Fior thing. And this guy had a shirt right in front of the stage. We had this like 3-tiered stage thing that we took out. And there was like these platforms that went out, and like there was one right in the middle of the stage that I would run out on. So I come running out. We just got home from this tour. I go running out. This guy had a thing for me, man. I barely knew the guy, man. I'm not even gonna say his name because I'm not gonna give credit to someone like this. But you know, his ex-girlfriend or something had liked me at some time. I barely knew her, you know. But he's got a shirt on that says, "You suck," with the finger pointing at me, and he's going like that. He's making sure he's right in the front of my tier coming out, and he's going, you suck. And I'm trying to sing, I'm trying to perform, I'm doing my thing, my song and dance routine, and he just kept doing it nonstop for, you know, there was two sets at the Agora. So he's going on and on and on, and I'm like, wow, man, like my band's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? He's an asshole, I don't know. And like, I probably at some point, I think I did kneel down and whisper something, say, dude, you know, you're a fucking dick, get lost. Kept doing it. Just wouldn't stop, man. All my roadies, we had all these biker guys that were roadies that were working for us, security, whatever you want to call them. They had this guy surrounded the whole time. The whole fucking time. They're saying, now. They're going like this. Now I'm like, no. This guy wouldn't stop. And finally, I forgot what it was he said that put me over the edge, but it was like 10 songs in the set. Yeah, I go, that was exactly it. I go, yeah, now. Dude, boom, bloodbath, man. And it was a fucking mob scene, dude. We got escorted out of there by every cop in Akron, man, driving us out of the county lines.
Was that the last time you played there? Or no?
Unfortunately, because of that piece of shit, yeah, it was the last time.
Do you know who it is?
I know who it is.
Well, say hi to Johnny Jail on the line.
Johnny, it was not Johnny Jail. What's up,
hi.
Johnny? What's going on? Were you at that show, Johnny?
Yeah.
Were you?
No, I was still in kindergarten.
That's funny,
I
dude.
remember.
Johnny was in kindergarten when we were playing out. Dude, what
I was like
a
the
scene
Dougie
that was.
Man Ross.
And what about Dougie?
Dougie was in
Dougie, what?
I said I was
Dude, I
like
don't think
Dougie
Dougie
back
was
then.
born
He
yet.
wasn't even born.
No, he wasn't even born yet.
By far not.
But
yeah.
no, you know what? That
No, I was just a
asshole.
kid. I was like Dougie.
Yeah. A few months later, that asshole, I saw him at like the Cleveland rib cook-off or something. He's like, dude, I owe you an apology. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of my face, dude.
Yeah.
Get out of my face. You know, he has his hand out. I pushed him away and walked away because I said, man, if I don't push this guy away and walk off, it's going to be bad. Yeah,
Johnny.
fuck that guy, dude. He cost me a lot.
Johnny, you had your surgery?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, things are going good, man. I had my
Feeling
first
better?
appointment today, and I'm walking.
Penis
yeah,
enlargement.
I'm walking much better. Everything.
So you're going to be at
Yeah,
the show Friday,
so-
but you're not jamming.
Correct. I will be a stool at the show.
A stool.
Yes.
A stool.
Yes.
A stool at the bar.
Yeah, he's giving us
Nah,
a
but
spirit,
yeah.
though, man.
Well,
Johnny's
you know what?
so
We were talking
so
about you,
awesome,
Johnny.
man.
Johnny, we were talking about you. not to cut you guys off, but
No.
Yeah.
you're not even playing. You're not playing the show, but
Snake Rock.
you're actually promoting better than most of the musicians that are playing the show. So we want to thank you for your promotion.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there he is. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Mr. Jail.
No, I mean,
Johnny, do you prefer Mr. Jail or Mr. Vincenzo?
It don't matter, dude. Just as long as I'm not an asshole.
And
but
Johnny's
you will
old
be there in
school.
support. So, Johnny, thanks for calling. Anything else
Yeah.
you want to ask Brad or me? I mean, it's your chance right now. What do you
No,
want to
just
know?
tell people it might be cold outside that night, but guess what? It's going to be warm inside, so you can wear your bathing suits, your Speedos, all that crap. So don't worry about the weather.
Billy's wearing a
Even
Speedo
talk.
right now. You can't see him below the table, but I'm getting a
Speedo on.
good view.
All right, brother. Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, you have fun. I'll see you guys.
Johnny,
Hi,
good talking
later,
to you,
bro.
man. Thank you. Johnny Jail, Priscilla member.
Yes, full-fledged now.
All right, so that was Snake Rock calling. And Snake Rock's going to be making a special guest appearance as well.
Yeah, tell him to call back.
Snake, if you're watching the show, give us a call back. We'll put you on the air. But
He was the generation before us, man. Him, Raven Slaughter, all
Raven
those guys.
Slaughter.
They preceded the Bill Peters era of bands, actually. All the
Well, if you
Breaker, Shock
talk to Snake. Now I don't know if it's true or not, but Snake's taking credit for giving Breaker a little bit of a boost in their early days because he was
I think
before
he had told me
Breaker,
that. You're right. Yeah.
and he let them open or got them some shows. So that's cool.
Right. Yeah. I think he had told me that.
Speaking of this show, this Friday night, the night before Christmas Eve, Slim and Chubby's in Strongsville. Doors are open early. They're open all day for lunch. You can come in anytime you want, but the first band starts at 7. They are called.
Voltan.
I wanted to make sure I said it right. Keep talking.
God
Someone
bless you,
sneezed.
my son.
I have to be careful sneezing. I fell off a ladder. I have broken ribs in my back, and it really. You guys ever sneeze when you have a broken rib?
I have.
Oh my!
I broke my
God.
ribs too many
Main
times,
auto
man.
Receptionist.
Shane
Zoom
Vane.
Phone +1.
Shane. Shane Vane. I can't stand this.
Is he on?
He was.
Dropping like flies.
Hold on. Shane Vane? Shane Vane, you're live. Let's talk. I can't stand this Zoom thing. I'm going to throw this Zoom thing out there. We're done with Zoom. Terrible. Keep talking, Brad. I'll figure it out. Can't stand it. Done.
Yeah.
Done. Zoom's done.
Yeah. Wow.
I wonder if I can call Shane Vane back on my phone.
You've seen the breakdown.
Shane, are you there? Shane Vane, are you there?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Sucks. Shane,
There
you
we
there?
go.
There you go. Shane Vane
I'm
from the
here.
Village Vandals.
I've never seen this
on the
angry
line.
side of you, Billy.
It sucks. Zoom sucks. This whole
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
setup sucks.
Yeah. That all sucks. It's all fucking sucks.
Sucks.
What's
it
up,
live.
Shane? How's it going, man?
You ready for the show, Shane?
Doing real good. How are you guys doing tonight?
Yeah, we're doing good, man. We're going to wrap the show up with you. You are the middle time slot of the big, giant Christmas Eve extravaganza. Eve. So, doing some original songs from the Village Vandals and some
Shock Cinema.
Shock Cinema tunes. I was saying choreotic songs.
Shane, what was
I think
your...
we're gonna try and
What's that?
yeah, we're gonna try and bust a couple out.
Shane, what was the band? Me and Billy were talking before. What was the band that you were in the early '90s? Your first glam band?
Well, he was right. I did play with the Knockouts for a little while.
Okay.
The
and-
Knockouts, yeah.
In the Red Eye days, yeah. And then
That was a good band.
yeah, I had a good time with that band. Yes.
Really good band. Yeah.
And I was actually I was briefly in the Blast Cats before that.
What band was it?
And
The Blast Cats?
Oh, Blast Cats.
the Blast Cats, yeah. And then a couple other goofy bands before that, way when I was a young teenager, when I played the Akron Agora and that shit. But
And Shane,
That's
isn't
going
that
way
true
back.
that a lot of people used to confuse you for Mr. William Morris himself?
Yeah, I mean, how
That
could
is
they?
actually true.
How could they not?
Everyone thought we were.
Yeah.
Everyone thought we were related or cousins or brothers or something or other.
Two good-looking, young, blonde, long-haired blonde guys. How could they not mistaken for each other? You know.
I think that's first time
Yeah,
I met him. I think
yeah,
I said, "Man, you look like Billy."
Yeah, it's like we were the Northeast Ohio version of Nelson.
Yeah, I'll take that all day long. So, Shane, before we say goodnight here, let everybody know what your band's going to bring to the stage, what style of rock you guys do, what you're bringing that night, what we can expect from Shane Vane and the Village Vandals.
We're gonna bring the Rockahonka Tonka Punka Metal Billy, and
Is that a genre that
Cover
you're?
over.
Is that your own genre?
that is our genre. Rockahonka Tonka Punka Metal Billy.
Well, last story before I say goodbye, but I got to tell Brad this, and you know this story because you were involved. I'm a very large motorcycle fan, and I go down to bike. I used to go down to Bike Week every year, and I would go down with one of my heroes. His name's John Penton. The guy at that time was about 87 years old, and we're walking down one of the streets for Bike Week in Daytona, and this band is up on stage, bringing it, and it was Shane Vane. What was the name of the band at that point, Shane?
That was the Living Dead,
The
a
Living
band out of
Dead.
Denver that I toured with for a number of years.
I do
yeah.
remember that.
Yeah,
I
so
remember when you were in there. It was like
I-
MySpace days.
I walked up and I waved and said hi, and they're like, "Hey, it's Billy Morris in the house." And so I'm walking around with my motorcycle hero, and he's like, "Oh my God, Billy Morris, you're famous. Everybody knows you." I'm like, "Thank you, Shane Vane, for that one opportunity to impress my hero."
right.
I'm glad it worked out for you.
So Shane, is this going to be a bang banging time on Friday night or what?
I think it's going to be. I'm looking real forward to it. I know we all are. And
So who's in your band now? You, Corey, Roddick, and who else?
It's me, Corey Roddick, also Shock Cinema, as some may know.
Right.
I've Joey Cash, also on guitar, who I played in a band with called
Johnny
the Alley
Cash?
Casters
Jay
back in the
Cash.
2000s. Yeah, Joey Cash.
Okay.
And our drummer Suk Suzuki.
All right.
Suk
And
Suzuki.
we played back around the
Suki.
early mid 2000s for a while, and then we kind of took about 10 years off and came back last year, and now we're back,
Well,
ready to rock.
Man. Well,
I say bang bang. It's going to be a banging night, man.
bang, banging night. Well, Shane,
Absolutely.
thanks for
That's right,
calling
we're
in.
gonna-
Thanks for listening. We'll look
That's
forward
right,
to
we're
Dude, yeah, it's
We're
going to be
gonna wake up
rocking,
the
man.
neighborhood.
I hope the weather doesn't, turn too many people off or whatever,
it's gonna
because,
be-
it's going to be
nice.
fine, but crybabies.
All right, Shane.
Crybaby Walker.
We'll be in touch. We'll talk about the load in and the gear and everything before the show. But thanks for calling in, and we'll look forward to seeing you this
Yeah,
Friday night at
just
Slim
keep me
Chubby's.
messaging. We'll see you guys Friday. All
You
right.
got it, brother. Talk
Right.
to you then.
Later on, bro.
Yeah. Bye.
Shane Vane. All right, man. Well, an hour goes by fast.
It does. It's an hour already.
It was an hour, full-on hour. And
I drove from the far south side for that. It's over?
well, what else do you want to talk about?
I don't know, man. What else
We could
is there to
talk about the rock scene in
Right.
Cleveland. I mean, me and you are
Yeah.
rockers.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this, and I wanted to talk a little bit to Pete about this, but boy, the time flew with Pete. But it's like here's a little situation that you could put your thought around. When I was younger, 18 years old, playing Judas Priest covers and Van Halen and Kiss and all these, writing songs with Spoiled and stuff, my dad said to me, and my dad's a guitar player. He goes, "Man, you grew up in the wrong era, man.
I remember you telling me
The
this story.
50s was way cooler, man. You just missed out on the 50s." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever, Dad. You didn't have MTV, and
Right.
you don't have Van Halen and Randy Rhoads." And so now, fast forward to now I've got kids, and I'm saying to my kids, "Man, you missed out, man. The 80s
Right.
were the best." And I'm sure my kids are like, "Dad, you ain't got TikTok, Dad. You ain't got tablets."
But you know
back
what,
then."
dude? I will say this. 50s, yeah, right on. 60s, absolutely. 70s, 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not the same. And that's not just a generational
I'm going to agree
thing.
with you.
It's ended. Between ticket prices being what they are, the high security. Dude, if you think about us growing up, what did you do? You would go to a concert every week because concerts were $7, $8 at the Coliseum, and you'd be getting laid in the parking lot. You were going there just to party. You know, like it didn't matter who was playing, man.
Here's how I look at it.
You can't do that now.
All the way up to the advent of the internet. What else could you do? Even before that, cable TV, MTV. What else could you do to see music? You'd have to go to a bar or a concert.
Yeah.
Now, I can go
Orlando
watch.
Joe for main auto receptionist. Zoom.
I'm going to just leave this on. Orlando Joe. There it is. Perfect. I have it hooked up to...
But I know what you're saying, Billy. I know what you're saying about all that, and that is all true, absolutely.
Orlando Joe.
You there?
I'm here.
Yeah, what's up, Billy?
Hey, man. Thanks for tuning in. You're the last call, man. We were about to shut down, but we'll always go longer if it's Orlando Joe.
Oh, no. You don't have to do that just for me because it's me, but I'm just saying.
Oh, good. Click.
I just want to say congratulations. No.
What's that, Joe? Congratulations on the
Billy,
Tough Tour.
Yes. I guess I don't think I'm going to see you on M3 this year.
No, we did not get picked this time, and I don't understand. We haven't been on that in like 5 years, so maybe we pissed somebody off.
I know. I hope you didn't piss anybody off.
I don't think we did.
But anyway, I'm on M3.
You pissed off Orlando Joe.
I'm on M3. No, I'm going to 80s in the 80s cruise in Los Angeles.
Yeah, we talked about that. You're supposed to get me a contact info so I can get my band on that thing.
You're supposed to get me contact info to get my band.
Yeah, I'll
on
get
it,
you.
dude.
I'll get the contact.
I would love to.
promise, Billy. I promise. I'll get your contact.
All right. Am I
promise
going to
I would-
see you in Australia? You going to come see the Tough and Faster Pussycat and Enough's Enough Pretty Boy Floyd tour?
No, but I would love to come to Australia, but I just can't foot the bill right now. Listen, I work for Amazon, and I just got off a vacation myself from St. Martin. So,
Well, good for you, Joe. I want to thank you for being a good friend of mine. The biggest rock fan I know.
Yeah.
He's on all the Monsters Rock cruises. All the guys know him. He's a great singer, great performer. He's got one flaw. He's a flippin' Steeler fan. Henry.
I know Steelers suck.
Well, Henry, our producer here, he's a Steeler fan as well. But you guys both grew up in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area, so I'll understand that, you know.
I understand it too. And listen, you and Yvonne grew up in Cleveland, and I understand that too.
Yeah.
But I made a promise to Yvonne.
All right,
If the
Joe.
Browns go to the Super Bowl and win it,
Yeah.
I will wear a Cleveland Brown shirt.
All right, Joe, I gotta let you go. Thanks for calling. We got to get another call coming in. Call me next week, Joe, okay?
Okay, no problem.
See you, buddy.
I'll talk to you soon.
You got it. Snake Rock, you're in the air here on the Smoke and Talk and Roll podcast. Did you know that we're doing a video show right now?
No, but I'm glad you are.
Yeah, well, you know, when you call me 7 times during the show, I got to hit end because you're buzzing through the line. So I just wanted
I'm so sorry.
So Snake, you texted me today somehow. You're curious on what kind of amp you're going to play through at this show this Friday night?
Yeah, unless you want me to bring one.
Well, we're playing through Marshalls. You're playing through a crate.
He's not kidding. He's been talking about this.
Hey, do me a favor. I'm going to talk to you, Snake. Go to Snake Rock's Facebook page and tell me if he's promoting this show. Are you promoting this show, Snake?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good.
I'm going to see.
We're going to find out.
In a second.
Depends if you're going to be the
My
first
phone stops
jammer
locking up.
or the last jammer.
Yes, we're going to.
Well, I would listen. As soon as you guys are done with your sets, your 2 sets, you and Brad,
Yeah.
then Snake's gonna play.
No. Yeah. No, you're going to go on before.
Yeah,
that.
right after you 2 guys finish your 2 sets, then I'll go on and do my thing.
No. You don't want to go on that late. You're going to go on in the middle of my set, right in the middle, so that most people are there.
That's fine. That's even better.
Yeah, if you wait till my set's done and we take a break, then you go up, it's going to be not as many people. I'm taking care of you, Snake.
I want to do. I want to do it. I'm hoping we can get Denny Stogie out to play.
I hope he plays. You're not seeing anything, huh?
No.
You're not really sharing this event, are you, Snake?
Oh, Snake.
No,
Snake,
there's
what are you
a.
gonna
I
do
put
with
the
you?
Priscilla post up.
All right,
The
Snake,
picture
listen.
of Brad stuff.
Snake, before we let you go, we talked about this a little earlier. Give me the lowdown on how Snake Rock assisted Breaker in
There you go.
coming up through the ranks in
Good
the Cleveland
question.
music scene. Take it away.
Okay. I went to a rehearsal hall to watch these guys. Somebody had tipped me off. It might have been Craig Bobby. And I went in there. I never met those cats at all. And I went in there. They weren't playing anywhere. So what I did was I started putting them on every show that I did. And I would tell the club owner, look, if you want Snake, you got to have Breaker. And they weren't making a lot of money, but they were making headway because I turned them on to WMMS. I gave them a coffee break concert. I took them to Columbus. I mean, I'm talking a lot of shows. I did a lot of stuff for those
Was that
guys.
the original band with Jim Haymar, Don DePue, and the Klein brothers?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And Ian Shipley?
Yes, Ian Shipley.
That was like before Bill Peters got a hold of them?
It was, yes,
Around the
just barely, but yes, it was.
Yeah.
So,
Metallica, the Metallica concert, the 83 concert, was their big break, man.
Metallica
Yeah, when
Breaker?
they opened up
Where
for
was that? It was
Metallica.
the
The old Agora.
The old Agora?
Yep, and it was a blizzard. It was dude. It was this time of year, and it was a blizzard.
And it
white
was sold out.
Sold out. They expected the advanced ticket sales were really weak, and Metallica was really nervous. They were supposed to be at the Pop Shop downstairs. They switched it to upstairs because I just found this out on Bill Peters' page the other day. He was posting about this. It got switched from the Pop Shop to the upstairs because they couldn't fit their Marshall stacks into the Pop Shop. The ceilings were too low. So they had to switch upstairs, but the ticket sales were so poor, they thought it was going to be a wash, man. They thought there was going to be like
And all of a sudden,
100 people.
capacity.
Beyond capacity, and the audience was losing their minds. It was one of their favorite shows ever, Metallica's favorite shows ever.
Nice.
Same thing
I
happened
got
at
a
Rat.
funny antidote
The
here I
Rat.
want to share with you guys.
Wait, sorry to interrupt you, Bill, real quick. You're going to like this one.
I was at that Rat show.
At the Out of the Cellar at the Agora.
Rat and
Heavy
remember
petting.
I was just going to say,
Absolutely.
you remember
Dude,
Heavy Petting?
Again, no advanced ticket sales. Stephen Piercy was losing his mind. Me and my buddies, Ron Vagaski and Dave Zwolnick, we're out. We got there early for sound check. We're drinking beers with Stephen Piercy. It was funny. Stephen Piercy drank all our beers, man. All our like import beers. We were like 18-year-old kids, and he was so bummed. He's like, "You and me and me and you, we're gonna be friends forever. We're never gonna forget you guys."
Nice.
Wait, listen. It gets better. We're never gonna forget you, man. You guys are what rock and roll is all about. We're like, yeah. You know, we're kids. We're like, yeah, because there was no one there. Dude, all of a sudden, people start filing in. Again, walk-up. Man, Agora was big for walk-up during this era. Place was jam-packed beyond belief. Rat kicked ass. Chicks all over Rat. We go back. He gave us backstage passes, beforehand. We go backstage. Steve, great show. Who the fuck are you guys? I'm not kidding you, dude. It changed that quick. It's
Hey,
like, Steven,
I
what
wanna
happened?
tell you
Thought
guys
we were friends for life, bro.
Hey, let me butt in here real quick. One time we were playing at the Pop Shop, which was once called The Mistake. And U2 was playing upstairs, okay? Snake Rock had about 125 people. U2 had 20 people. Nobody knew who they were.
Wow.
They came down and watched Snake. Mhm.
Nice. All right, Snake. We got to
Yeah.
tune off here, man. Thanks for calling.
You excited
I
about
love you
Friday
guys.
night,
I'll
Snake?
see you
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 excited?
betcha. I'll be there. Absolutely.
All right, Snake. Don't call me tonight. All right. Let's talk tomorrow morning. Call me when you wake
Don't
up.
call us. We'll call you.
Give me a cool tomorrow.
All right. You guys kick ass. I'll see you Friday.
All right. Bye, Snake.
Later on,
Bye-bye
Snake.
now.
All right. That is going to wrap it up. Thanks for coming down, Brad.
Thank you for having me, Billy.
So once
fun,
again, we didn't even mention this also. It's a Coats for Kids event. Please bring a new or slightly used clean coat down. Help out the kids. What a good way to do a Coats for Kids if it's going to be a snowstorm.
You know what? Doing these shows like for charity is the best thing. Like, the money, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
It's
agree
not
with you.
about that, dude. But like, give back. We're doing what we love, And if you could help people out, help out the unfortunate, whether it's kids,
what it's all
animals, or
about.
whatever. Yeah,
And
it
we're
really
going to
is,
continue
man.
to do more in the future as well.
Yes.
All right. For Brad Slitt, Billy Morris, my partner Todd Chason, who's not here with us tonight.
Where is Todd?
He's got some smoking rock and roll business. It's the Christmas holidays. He's busy.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of things going on.
All right. Miss you, Todd.
For Sean and Henry, there.
Wanted to give you a big hug.
And
all right, man. Big shout out to Voltan, the dudes from Voltan. Adrenaline.
Shane Vane.
And the Village Vandals.
Priscilla,
and the Billy Morris Band. Is it? What is it? Right.
That's a whole
you know
other
where that's
story.
going.
Billy Morris and the Sunset
Another
Strip.
story.
The last thing. And we will say goodnight. When I put my record out on High Vol Music about 3 or 4 years ago, the owner, who recently passed away, God rest his soul, said, I like Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip. It reminds me of Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. That's the only reason we did it that way.
I like that.
And it's cool. So I guess that's who I am now. Billy Morris and the Sunset Strip. We're going to be playing some Kid Wicked songs, some original songs, some Warrant songs, some party songs. And it's going to be a party. So it's this Friday night, Slim and Chubby's. We'll see you there.
A banging good time. Everyone get out there, man. Don't worry about the weather,
Don't worry
man.
about the weather.
The weather's going to be cool.
All right.
You
Good
be
night,
cool,
everybody.
too.
Thanks for tuning in.
Later.
We'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah.